Let's go ahead and call the public meeting to order. Let's start with roll call. Chair Scherer is here. Vice Chair Wallen.
Here.
Commissioner Langton is excused. Commissioner Lowry.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Moran. I don't see Commissioner Moran on the Zoom.
Here.
Oh, we do have him here. Great. Commissioner Reynolds.
Here.
And Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Staff, Executive Director Armstrong.
Here.
Commission Counsel Bassett.
Here.
Investigator Terry
Today. Yes.
is out, is
Yeah.
excused today. Acting Associate Counsel Hazlett also excused today.
Yes.
Senior Legal Researcher Pani.
Here.
Welcome. Outreach and Education Officer Harvey. Was on Zoom earlier.
Must be switching over.
Please mark them as present. And Executive Assistant Saldana.
Here.
Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you very much. That will bring us to public comment. Executive Director Armstrong, does the commission receive any public comment by email to be read into the record?
We have not received any public comment by email to be read into the record.
Are there any members of the public? There's no members of the public here in Reno attending. Do we have any members of the public on Zoom who want to provide public comment?
Elvira Saldana for the record. At this time, we do have members of the public. However, there's no one informing us that they'd like to provide public comment.
Thank you so much. That will bring us to approval of the September 23rd, 2025 and October 15th, 2025 commission meeting minutes.
Can we take separate motions on that? Because I was not present for the October 15th meeting, so I have to abstain and was present for the September 23rd.
We will do that. Which order do you want to take them in, Executive Director Armstrong?
I think if you do them in chronological, so I do September 1st and then October.
Take the September 23rd, 2025 minutes. It's my understanding that there were some revisions provided after the last meeting. Everyone's had those in the materials. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yep.
Yes.
Any questions or comments on the September 23rd, 2025 minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve them?
Move to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are approved unanimously. And that will then bring us to the October 15th, 2025 commission meeting minutes.
I move to approve the October 15th minutes as presented.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Are there any comments, questions?
Just make a comment that I will not be voting on this because I was not present during the October 15th meeting.
Any other revisions or suggestions for the minutes? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Also approved unanimously with Commissioner Reynolds abstaining. Bringing us to item number 4, discussion and approval of proposed stipulated agreement concerning ethics complaint number 24-184C regarding Don Kalkoski, County Manager, Humboldt County. Commissioner Reynolds, Lowry, and Miller served on the review panel for this matter and are precluded from participating in further proceedings pursuant to NRS 281A.220 subsection 4. Are there any other disclosures or any disclosures for this item? Seeing none, it's the attorney for Mr. Kalkoski present on the Zoom. Mr. Kalkoski, doesn't look like either one of them is present on the Zoom. So Anthony Gordon, Humboldt County Assistant Attorney or Assistant District Attorney.
They're not
Just confirm.
No, there's, Elvira Saldana for the record. There is someone listed as Winnemucca, which I'm not sure. And then there's a Joaquin Padilla.
Let's go ahead. So if no one's speaking up to appear on behalf of Mr. Kalkowski, Executive Director Armstrong, please provide us the presentation on this matter.
Thank you. For the record, this is Executive Director Armstrong. This is case 24-184C regarding Don Kalkowski, County Manager for Humboldt County. We received this complaint on December 12th of 2024 and went forward with an investigation into alleged violations of NRS 281A 402, 9, and 10. In May of 2025, the review panel issued a determination referring the matter to the commission for a full opinion. On August 21st, thanks to the work of Commissioner Teresa Lowry, we were able to come to this agreement through a settlement conference. On page 2 of the agreement, you'll see the stipulated facts. I think the important thing to know here is Mr. Kalkowski was an employee of the county. He was then made county manager. His daughter worked for the county at the time he was made county manager. And after that, there was no process put in place to remove him from the daughter's chain of command. We have previous commission opinions where if you have somebody within the 3rd degree of consanguinity down the line of chain of command, you need to have somebody put a system in place so that you don't have influence over that particular chain of command. Shortly after Kalkowski became county manager, there was then a series of events involving the daughter and supervisors. Basically, supervisors would take some sort of action in regard to Kalkowski's daughter. That would be challenged and reversed, and then that supervisor would leave the county. And so the investigation revealed and the parties agree that Kalkowski's conduct violated the ethics law in 2 regards. In the stipulated agreement, you'll see section 5, which we sometimes do in a stipulation. Those are facts that Mr. Kalkowski wanted to include in the stipulation, but are not necessarily agreed to by the executive director as relevant or accurate to the violation itself. The final agreement includes that Mr. Kalkowski will be, that his conduct in that course of conduct with respect to his daughter and his role as county manager violates 2 provisions of the ethics law, 281A 402, which is using your public position to secure or grant unwarranted privileges, preferences, exemptions, or advantages, in this case for his daughter, and 1 violation of 281A 400 subsection 9, attempting to benefit the personal and pecuniary interest of a person to whom he has a commitment in a private capacity through the influence of a subordinate. It's consistent with prior commission opinions. Both of these violations will be deemed willful. In addition, Mr. Kalkowski has agreed to receive a censure, formally condemning his conduct, and he is required to coordinate and provide ethics training for himself and the staff in Humboldt County within 90 days. That training has already been scheduled as part of Sam's upcoming rural tour, so he's already has that on the books, which I greatly appreciate, and a civil penalty in the amount of $2,500 to the commission, and payment to be made with a timeline established by the executive director. So again, that's 2 violations, 402 and 409. The other violation investigated will be dismissed, and I'm happy to take any questions on this matter.
Questions for Executive Director Armstrong?
I don't have any questions.
Anyone on Zoom? No?
No question.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. And then anyone, one more try. Is there anyone on behalf of Mr. Kalkowski that wants to make any comments? Seeing no one, do we have a motion on this?
I move to accept the terms of the proposed stipulated agreement and direct Commission Council to finalize the agreement in appropriate legal form.
Do we have a second for the motion?
I'll second the motion.
Seconded by Commissioner Smith. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And any opposed, please say nay. That passes unanimously among those participating. That brings us to item number 5. Discussion and approval of a proposed stipulated agreement concerning ethics complaint number 25-031C regarding Richard Harvey, Fire Chief, Central Lyon County Fire Protection District. Myself and Commissioners Langton and Miller served on a review panel for this matter and are precluded from participating in further proceedings pursuant to 281A.220 subsection 4. So I'll turn this matter over to Vice Chair Wallen.
Executive Director Armstrong, please give us your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. We received a complaint on March 17th of 2025 alleging that Mr. Harvey had violated various parts of the ethics law, including 400 subsection 1, 2, 3, and 5. During the jurisdictional review, the commission also determined that there may be concerns with 400 subsection 10 and 420 subsection 1. The basic allegations of this particular complaint is that while serving as fire chief, Harvey used his position to secure a post-retirement contract for himself to continue to provide services to the Central Lyon Fire District. On October 11th of 2024, he established a LLC, listing himself as the president and the manager. At the November 14th meeting of the Central Lyon Board, he announced his intention to retire and his plan to provide himself with a contract in the months after his retirement so that he could continue to provide services while they transitioned to a new fire chief. It was then placed on subsequent meetings in December 12th of 2024 and January 9th of 2025. Through that process, and I will have, there's a typo on H on page 3. It says that the total financial benefit of the contract exceeded, it did exceed $17,000, but the total payment was closer to 102 by the time the contract was all completed. And so at the meetings, Mr. Harvey presented his contract, advocated for the contract, and the Central Lyon Fire Board ultimately approved the contract. He and made payments pursuant to the contract subsequent to that. The commission has established in the recent Juden case and the prior Alford case involving a UNR employee that you cannot be securing contracts for yourself while using your job while you're still at a job. And so the agreement is that Mr. Harvey agrees that his conduct constitutes a single violation of NRS 281A 400 subsection 10 about seeking and securing contracts for yourself. The violations of 402 and 3 and 281A 420 subsection 1 are dismissed by the parties. The parties agree that the violation should be considered a willful violation. In addition, he agrees to pay $10,000 pursuant to NRS 281A 793. That's approximately 10% of the total received from the contract. And he will receive a written reproof of Harvey for his conduct, which is a reprimand under our statute. And that is the totality of the agreement between the proposed agreement between us and Mr. Harvey. I do want to thank Mr. Harvey for his work. He's not represented through counsel during this process, but he engaged in good faith during the settlement conference. Commissioner Miller did a great job during that settlement conference as well. And he and Mr. Harvey and Curtis on our team worked really hard to come to this agreed upon language and resolution in this matter. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Executive Director Armstrong? So I have a question. Was he drawing PERS while he was under this contract?
We did not go to the discovery portion to double check that he was receiving PERS. In the public meeting where they discussed the contract, they indicated that an advantage to contracting through his LLC versus him is that would be a way to still collect PERS and receive the contract at the same time. And that PERS confirmed that would be permitted if they did it through a LLC and not an individual. At least that's what was communicated to the fire board in the from staff at the fire district when they first considered the retirement and planned to move forward.
That's kind of interesting because I thought that PERS says, okay, if you go back and you're doing the exact same thing, you can't be taking PERS and.
Like, that's in this, still in their regulations.
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay.
that is what the Central Alliance staff communicated to the fire board, that the advantage of this setup is that they would not be paying into PERS anymore because it would be officially retired. So it would be saving them money, and that he could still perform this work through a LLC.
I just struggle with this. It just doesn't smell right, so. But I appreciate Mr. Harvey, working with you guys. Is Mr. Harvey on Zoom by chance?
Elvira Saldana, for the record, it does not appear that he is on Zoom.
And I will just for the record, because it's unusual, we have two. Associate Counsel Hazlett provided both subjects, notice of the meeting and links to the meeting and explanation of what would happen, so. It's odd.
It is very odd, so, but thank you. All right, seeing no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the settlement agreement as proposed and negotiated between the parties, between the commission and Mr. Harvey.
Okay, I'll make an amendment to that to accept the terms of the proposed stipulated agreement and direct commission counsel to finalize the agreement in appropriate legal form. So now, can we second that motion?
Yes.
All right, you accepted a second, so someone want a second?
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, back to you.
Thank you. That brings us to item number 6. Recognition of Carrie Pedroza for her years of service to the commission in the role of executive assistant. So Executive Director Armstrong, you want to kick this item off?
I will. As you know, our long standing executive assistant Carrie Pedroza left us a few months ago. And so I wanted to provide an opportunity on the record, as she's busy today, so could not attend. I asked if she could, and her new job at taxation is wild and crazy. And so I'm sure you may be watching on YouTube or will watch later. But I did make sure what we did for Carrie was we got the standard plaque that we give to outgoing commissioners that thanked her for her many years of service. And I was able to head over to her new office last week and provide that with her. And she expressed gratitude for her time at the commission. And so I will just kick this off and officially on the record for the minutes and posterity say that, Carrie served with the commission for several years. She was incredibly helpful in my transition into the executive director role. And I know that as helping to onboard all of our new commissioners, helped get our new commissioners set up with, all of the things that it takes to make sure you all get paid and set up with technology. She really, in her work, oversaw tremendous change and growth in the commission and was in particular a great first voice and a really great listening voice when we had constituents with concerns, particularly when they didn't involve the Ethics Commission at all. She was able to regularly show tremendous empathy and get people to where they needed to go. So I greatly appreciate her service to the commission, and I'm glad we're taking this opportunity to officially thank her for her time.
Thank you. And I'll add my comments to yours. I greatly enjoyed working with Carrie, and sure she will be missed. Just really enjoyed getting to know her and having the opportunity to work with her here.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you to Carrie as well for all the hard work that she did. She saw a lot of changes in the commission in her time, and I really appreciated her always being there to answer questions and take care of things when things went wrong or needed something. And she was always very responsive and very enjoyable to work with, and Elvira, you've got some big shoes to fill, so. But I just want to thank her and wish her the best in her new position.
If I can just interject quickly, I got to work with Carrie for a little over 4 years, and she was a tremendous help to me, both when I first joined the commission as the associate counsel. And, you know, we have a very interesting structure and the way things flow through review panels, and all that was very new and confusing. And Carrie was always really willing to answer any questions, was always willing to be really helpful. And then when I transitioned into the position of commission counsel, she was really helpful to me again, in terms of, you know, how to put together agendas, what my role was in that new position. I couldn't have done either of those things without Carrie's help. Carrie is extremely detail oriented. She edited all my things as the final editor, and she caught mistakes you wouldn't believe. So I will definitely miss that. She caught mistakes we'd been making in things for years, and tracked them down and found the right information. Carrie is very smart, very empathetic. She cares deeply about her job and about the commission and its mission. And I will personally greatly miss her, but I am always very glad when someone is moving forward and progressing in their own career. And I think she has a lot to offer in her new position. I think that wasn't being utilized as much where she was with us. So I'm really happy for her, and I will very much miss her in the office day to day, and when I'm sending out documents and they have mistakes. You can blame Carrie leaving.
Not you?
Of course not me. So we will miss you, Carrie, if you're out there watching.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right,
There are little bits to add that's not already been said already, but to echo everything else everyone has conveyed, and to appreciate Carrie endlessly for just being my first connection with staff and just feeling so welcomed and included in the team. I was really just grateful to be able to work with her for the time that I did, and our overlapping time with the commission. Just always so generous with her time and commitment to our mission, and really helping everyone on the team succeed in that, and having just that wealth of, we call it institutional knowledge, agency knowledge, historical knowledge, and sharing that so willingly and generously, and just being a wonderful, kind creature and human to work with. So thank you, Carrie, and you're very missed, and we're very excited to see you continue on and do great things serving Nevadans.
thank you. Any other comments before we move to the next item? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 7. Consideration and approval of the 2026 commission meeting dates. Executive Director Armstrong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At our last meeting of the year, we tried to set the dates for commission meetings for the following year. So those proposed dates are in your packet. Those would be for full commission dates. We'd still have panels on most months as long as we needed them. It would not include, for example, there'll probably be some ongoing meetings of the legislative committee. And because of our strict timeframes for cases, it's always possible that there could be a meeting that would not be on this, but these would be our scheduled dates. One of the changes for this year would be instead of having this November meeting, which we try to have early because of the Thanksgiving, but it's really close to October, is to move that to the first week of December, so that we've got a little bit more breathing room between that October meeting and December. And then I'm aware we have at least one commissioner that has a challenge with the October date, so we'd want to discuss, I'd recommend moving that up a week or two with September dark. That would work for us. So I'll just toss it out there and for your consideration and approval of our proposed 2026 meeting dates.
And I'm the one commissioner who has a problem with the October 21 meeting. I'll actually be out of the country on that date. So
You can still.
I may have a problem with the January meeting, but I think my flight was later in the afternoon, so I would be able to attend. Because it is in Reno, I think I can attend the meeting. So, I'll double check that.
And it's hard to go and coordinate everybody's schedule.
It is.
That's a moving target, and then you'll have 2 new commissioners that'll be coming on. So,
Any other comments on the dates?
No, but I'd be flexible if we wanted to move the October one up.
Is there a preference for if we did move it up for the 14th or the 7th? I'm open either of those other dates.
Yeah, those are okay with me too. Fine.
14th would work.
Let's plan on that one being October 14th unless there's objections to that.
No objection for me.
Seeing no objections, do we have a motion to approve these dates?
I'll make a
As
motion.
amended?
I'll make a motion to approve the dates with the October date changed to the 14th.
Do we have a second to that motion?
second,
So we have a motion by Commissioner Miller, a second by Vice Chair Wallen. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, passes unanimously and brings us to item number 8. Which is a report by Executive Director Armstrong on the agency status and operations.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. I've submitted a written report. I'll hit on some of those highlights of the first one. And for those that are in Reno, live and in person, we have our new senior legal researcher, Caitlin Pawnee, who started on Monday. So, start holiday and then meeting day, a wild and crazy first week for Caitlin, but already, hitting the ground running and asking the right questions. So we're excited to be fully staffed. That places our vacancy rate at 0, which is terrific for our ability to do things. We'll be sending 3 staff in the beginning of December to the Council of Government Ethics Law Conference in Atlanta. Both Sam and Liz will be sitting on panels, so they'll be able to share Nevada's perspective with other folks. I think Sam's is on interacting with the press and Liz is on the advisory opinion process and what that looks like. In terms of progress on our strategic plan, we've completed the 3rd month of time study, collecting those now, and then we'll have some analysis to look at if there's a need to ask for additional staff in the next legislative session. The RFP for the case management system, I'm working with purchasing. I'll have to double, it's not as intuitive when you're an agency versus just the general public, but our RFP is either published or will be published imminently. They were helpful. We provide them a lot of information. They create the RFP. And so we plan to go forward on that. I want to thank Commissioner Lowry, who agreed to sit on the RFP review panel as we get those proposals submitted. Sam is working on a rural tour and our other outreach. We're on track to increase the number of individuals trained. They'll talk more about that during their report. In terms of a budget update, we're also on track. I just want to note there have been lots of changes at the Administrative Services Division, which provides all of our fiscal and HR support, including multiple changes back and forth regarding travel policies and what is and what isn't allowed. And so that has been frustrating, but I think they've made a decision of where they're going. So if you hear from Elvira on like, oh, we gotta redo this travel thing or whatnot, we now know that we're no longer doing the 75% on first and last day, that it will be based on time of departure and
to that, Shem.
yes, so we've adopted that new policy. So we have I signed it last week. We have a new travel policy in place that is in compliance with the new changes in the SAM. It does include an ability for you to camp. If we're ever at a place and you want to camp, you can get reimbursed for camping expenses. But Airbnbs are banned. So which is probably
All sit together.
Yeah.
in terms of recent review panel determinations, which we've started to include in the executive director report, we do not have any review panels in October, so there are none for this report. We do have 4 review panels scheduled for November, so we'll be processing cases with the panel later today. And then upcoming meetings in December, we'll have panels and we just approved the dates for next year. So that is it for my update on operations.
Any questions?
Nope.
Executive Director Armstrong on his report. Any comments? Then that'll bring us to item number 9, which is the outreach and education report. Outreach and Education Officer Harvey.
Yes, hello, everybody. I will kick off with our rural floor coming up on December 1st through the 3rd. As Russ mentioned, I'll be hitting Ely, Elko, Winnemucca, and then since this report was finalized, I've also finalized training in Lovelock as well on that Wednesday afternoon before I fly out. So wish me luck on all of my travels. I'm really looking forward to getting in and around Nevada and doing some more rural training. Additionally, more recently, we did a training and outreach with the Nevada chapter of the American Planners Association conference. So that's a great continued partnership with them. I presented at their conference last year as well. On the training front, you'll see in the report our recent trainings as well as those coming up in addition to the rural tour. We've got a couple of trainings for compliance coming up in January. And of note in this, the boards and commissions training that's listed here is currently looking to be rescheduled at this time. Right. Moving on to publications, we sent out our newsletter on Global Ethics Day, and that is our 5th issue so far of the newsletter, as we started it this time a little bit earlier than this time last year, going fairly well. Between 1,500 and 2,000, hoping to reach 2,000 subscribers shortly. Finally, in terms of public information, with regards to public records requests and requests for information, that total is tallying to 115 requests so far this fiscal year. If we're looking at the public records requests specifically, we've provided and had substantive records in 68% of our requests, and then 32% of our requests, we've not had relevant records on that. At this time, I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions for Executive Director, for Outreach and Education
Comments
Officer.
as well.
And we wanted to promote you.
Is that a legislature increased budget question? or-
No, just keep on doing what you're doing. You know, I think you're getting the word out there, which I really appreciate, so. And have fun traveling through Ely and Winnemucca and Elko.
I'll take any food recommendations, absolutely. Let me know.
There's a lot of good ones out there.
We only know Bath, but.
Yeah, well, yeah, mostly Basque. That's true. Commissioner Reynolds.
Good question on the information request, public information requests. I'm looking at the tally, and thank you for providing this information, very helpful. The running total now is 115 requests, and they have it broken down. But how many per week, if you were to look at it per week, or is it consistent, or are there periods of time when it gets very when you get a flurry of them?
Seems fairly consistent with regards to the requests from the public. The press seems more targeted with regards to cases and what is becoming public based off of our case flow. But yeah, with requests from the public is fairly steady.
Other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll move on to the next item, which is item 10. See if I can-
That's me.
Yep, that will be legislative update from the Commission's Legislative Committee on Progress and Next Steps. Vice Chair Wong.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we met today. We've had a couple meetings, and today our focus was looking at what legislation we want to consider. And our highlights were, one, we felt that there's a real need to have a definition of gifts. That seems to be a big question that is asked when OEO Harvey is out there training people our commission councils had questions on it. And so we're looking at a definition, the source, the intent, general, and then a dollar amount on that. The next item that we also want to have a definition of that we feel a need for is ceremonial duties. Because that is starting to come up in the last Formula One case. It was, you know, they had ceremonial duties, educational, so we want to have a definition there. The other area that we're looking at is abuse of power. That one's going to be a little bit trickier, we think. But I think we can kind of define it in our statute that if it's a employee dispute with their employer, that's not really an abuse of power, and we'll have that definition there. And the other area that we're looking at is improving the confidentiality of the requester, because right now, if a requester works in that agency or department, they can have it confidential. But if they have left the agency and then file a complaint, it's not confidential anymore. And then we also have problems where in small communities, a business may come across something that's going on and they're afraid to file a complaint because they don't have the confidentiality. So we're looking at that. So those are our four, and the other one that we're going to look at is mandatory training for public officers. And it would be online training. So we've got 5 items here. When we meet again, we're going to go through and say, all right, what ones are ones that we definitely want to push forward? And what are some that we might want to go to the Legislative Commission to see if they were interested in supporting them and stuff? Because we want to keep it narrow and focused. Other things that we're looking at doing is getting together with the Secretary of State on improving the disclosures that people make. Since that's where financial disclosures are housed, it didn't make sense for us to have our own law for things that weren't covered in their law. So we're going to try to meet with the Secretary of State for them putting together better disclosure legislation and stuff. And then we're also looking at, this is kind of a training piece almost, but having a form for the acknowledgements that people have to sign when they become a public officer. Oftentimes, or they're appointed to a board or commission. We've been working with the governor's office and they do a great job of making sure when people are appointed that they know to sign the acknowledgements. And we're also going to reach out to Secretary of State to have that in there. If you're a candidate, if you win, you need to make sure they know to disclose, and then working with some of the cities and counties just to tell them when you appoint a board or a commissioner that they need to sign these acknowledgement forms. And with our RFP, we may have the ability then to look at our acknowledgements that we have a spreadsheet and kind of be able to trace it to other, the appointments of other boards and commissions, because right now we don't have that capability. So I think that will be good. If my fellow commissioners want to add anything to that.
I think it's a good summary.
Okay. All right.
Questions or comments from
Question.
commissioners? I had one just on the confidentiality, and I think that greater confidentiality, especially in some of those cases you mentioned, is valuable at the complaint stage. I guess at some point, I think I'd ask the committee to consider at what point, if we're going to move forward with a complaint into more formal proceedings, does the accused have an opportunity to know who, does that confidentiality then get waived if we do move forward, or do they get the opportunity to know who's made that complaint
Okay.
as part of their defense?
All right. We'll consider that.
Anything else on this item?
No, I just want to thank my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Miller and Commissioner Reynolds, for a great discussion today. I think we made really good progress. So it's our next step, like I said, is to narrow it down. Staff is going to come back with some language. We'll figure out our priorities. And then after that, then we will come to the full commission for approval. And then after that, then the next step is it goes to the governor's office for them to consider for legislation as well. So,
Thank you. That brings us to item number 12 is commissioner comments. Any comments from commissioners?
just want to welcome our new senior legal researcher, Pawnee. Glad to have you. You've got an outstanding resume that I saw, so we're looking forward to seeing your work and becoming a part of this team. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No pressure, but we've had great folks in that role in the past, so. So we're expecting great things from you. But as Vice Chair Wallen said, we're confident that you can live up to that standard. So.
Okay.
Any other comments from commissioners? Seeing none, that brings us to our last public comment section. Sarah, Executive Director Armstrong, have we received any comments during the meeting?
We have not received any comments during the meeting.
Okay, there's no one present in Reno, no members of the public. Executive Assistant Saldana, do we have anyone online expressing the interest in making public comments?
So Vera Saldana, for the record, no, there is no one interested in making public comment.
Then I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a second to that motion?
Second.
More seconds than for any other motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. We are adjourned.